Hello there, this is Alex Newton from K-lytics, and in this video I want to showcase the new tailor-made research projects that we conduct for our clients, publishers and authors. For the purpose of the demonstration, we're using here a non-fiction market example, the market for sciatica and back pain related books. So let's jump right into it. So the purpose, let's assess the market for books about sciatica and back pain. And the way we do this in this tailor-made research project is by creating a virtual bestseller list for the target keywords based on true Amazon sales rank and not display sequence. Now, what do we mean with that and why is this important? Now, if you go on Amazon and research any book market for its potential, you're probably used to the approach of using the bestseller lists. So you click on bestsellers here, it takes you to the Kindle store, you go on ebooks and you have on the left hand sidebar all these bestseller lists, and you can click your way down. For example, in this case, maybe in health, fitness and dieting, click your way down, and you're then probably used to using either a tool or manually going through the books and looking what their sales rank and sales are. And to save you all the time with this, we do cover these basic and more deep bestseller list in our K-lytics Basic Premium and Elite services. But sometimes even these bestseller lists and their information have limitations, especially if you go for very narrowly defined markets, such as the market for sciatica books. And the reason is you won't find a bestseller list for such a specific topic. So for example, even if I searched for the term sciatica in a list of more than 2,800 sub Kindle categories, there won't be a search result. Now, if you know your way around on the Amazon Kindle website, then the next step would be to use the advanced search feature, where you can type in your keyword, say sciatica. You can even, select your language. And here comes the important point. In theory, and I'm saying in theory, Amazon allows you here to sort the results not just by relevance, but also by best selling. And this should give you the best selling books. Now, in this case, yes, it does give you here two #1 bestsellers for various, subcategories that you find on the left-hand side. But if you do a systematic research on any, niche market, you will come into limitations, because here, for example, Amazon switched back to sorting by relevance, and the best-selling sort feature has vanished. Now you can go here and sort by featured. Again, you will find here two #1 bestsellers. However, if you really went through all these books and looked at their sales rank, you will find out that Amazon display sequence here does not give you a true sequence in terms of sales rank. You can try it out yourself. We tried it many times. And the reason is Amazon wants to push into the display results also certain new books. Sometimes they're pushing their own Amazon imprints if you are in certain genres. And this is why we create a virtual bestseller list. It basically extracts all of the search results for any given keyword and sorts them into their true sales rank order. Apologies if this was a longer introduction, but it is important to understand this, especially if you're not so familiar with the advanced features of the Amazon market platform. Now, once we have this, we provide here in the custom research an estimate for the market size and something that we call the drop-off, which is how many books do you sell at certain positions in that virtual bestseller list. That is, what does the #1 bestseller sell, the top 20, top 100, top 500. We develop a complete market profile in terms of pricing levels, what's the short read share, typical cover art analysis with which you can brief your designers, Kindle category usage and their performance. We also identify the best keywords for the titles and descriptions and provide a top 100 title database with all the book data points, including the book descriptions for further research and reference, so that you don't have to go back to the Amazon platform when you do the in-depth content research for your book project. So in this case, we used to start searches here. One is sciatica, which gives you only, it's a very narrow market, only gives you 149 results. And to broaden it a bit, we put in back pain, which gives you about 1,200 results here. In total, approximately 1,400 search results that are, when you eliminate the duplicates and eliminate some, data errors, gives you a project database of about 1,100 books to work with. And then we applied certain filters. And the filters are, first of all, you have to look at paid books only, because all those free books you get into the database and into the display ranking, mind you, as well, can completely distort the picture. We filtered for those books that have really sciatica or back pain or lower back in the title or the description. We excluded books where any terms such as novel that would, associate with a non-fiction title, take that out of the list, and then sort, as said before, by the real Amazon sales rank rather than the search display rank. And this way we get a virtual bestseller list for this niche market that contains 651 books. Now, a very important indicator to assess the market potential is what we call the rank drop-off. So in this case, the number one bestseller of this virtual bestseller list has an overall Amazon sales rank of about 7,700. That's about 19-20 books a day. You see that rank number 20 already, the sales rank drops down to 104,000. So it's a very tight market, because once you go to sales rank 20 in that virtual bestseller list, it doesn't even sell one copy a day, let alone sales rank 100. It's basically drops down to zero. And then the last book is obviously not selling anything at all. So like many non-fiction markets, this is a very, very tight market. You have to have a really good book and really good marketing, because the money is only being earned in the top end of the market. And we even have a closer look at this. So in this example here, we look at the top sales rank number 1 to 20, so 20 books, and you see here the best and worst sales rank, the estimated copies, number of copies sold, and price is also a very important factor, by the way, because even in the top 20, the best book, given its price level, earns about $3,000 in royalties a month. The worst book, imagine, the worst book in the top 20 can drop down to as little as $49 a month, given its sales rank, which is only at around 104,000. Probably it's a 99-cent book. So you can have a further look in the report. The total market for sciatica and back pain is only about $11,000 in royalties per month. That's not sales, that's royalties. So compared to many other markets, a very, very narrow market, where if you do a book project for it, you either do it for authority building, so you're not so much worried about the sales, or you really mean business and you know how to get into the top end of the market. The pricing for this market is better than many other genres, especially fiction genres such as say take romance. The reason here is if you take the top 20 titles, in this case when we pulled the data, about 30% of the books in the top 20 are priced at $2.99, and then it drops off here. Good news is there were no price wars here going on with 99 and $1.99 books. In all the analyzed books also here, the main price point is $2.99, and that varies significantly from one genre to the other. And given its non-fiction nature, it's also a market with a fairly high short read share. So here across the top 20, top 100 are roughly a short read share of 50% of the books are short reads less than 100 pages. Or the total market, we are at about 61%. This is obviously way higher than in many fiction-related genres, pretty typical for non-fiction. And the situation underscores the fact that you have to get into the top end of the ranking list, because with these number of pages, the borrows and the pages read won't help your revenue very much. Then we look in the research for the positioning of the book, what Kindle categories are currently being used by the best-selling books in the category. You see here most of the authors and publishers position their book here. That's the top one in the category health, fitness, dieting, diseases, physical ailment, and pain management, followed by people who put it into, well, I don't even want to pronounce this here, these disease category, and then healing, and then you also find obviously some yoga and chiropractic related book categories in here. What we then do to assess where to best position the book is we have a look in our K-lytics LE database that lists about 2,800 subcategories for mapping all those used categories in terms of the degree of competition that goes from left to right, low competition, high competition on the right, and the level of sales, low level of sales at the bottom of the chart and going up to better sales ranks going up on the chart. And in the end of the day, you ideally have genres that are in the green zone. However, in this non-fiction genre, that is not the case. So you probably want to go for anything that is pretty small a market, which would be here, and where at least the level of sales are as high up on the chart as possible. And for example, this one here, pain management, the most frequently used one, is actually not that bad a category. It has still less than 2,000 titles in it, and the level of sales in the top 20 is around sales rank. This is probably here around 30,000. So if you have a good book, it should also be pretty easy to rank. Then looking at the keywords, most frequent words in the top 100 titles, obviously no surprise, back pain, the most important one. But it's interesting to see that also if you compare this with independent research on Amazon store keywords, this is here an extract from Merchant Words, which estimates the number of searches that the word gets on a monthly basis. And it is interesting to see that here sciatica, exercises, and back pain are the most frequent keywords. Then you get here lower back pain, exercises, chronic back pain, sciatica. So I think it's obviously no doubt that if you include sciatica and something about back pain in the description and keywords, then that will obviously help the book's ranking and more so discoverability on the Kindle store. Then here, just for reference purposes, if you want to look at the book descriptions, what are the most frequent words in the book descriptions that are being used next to back pain, then it's pretty obvious that back pain is, much more frequently used than the technical term sciatica. And then we move on in our research projects. We pull the truly top selling books and look at their cover art. You have here the top 30 best selling titles for the topic. And as said, we do this for any topic so that you can brief your cover designers and so that you come up with a real professional cover. Then last not least, in our tailor-made research projects, you get the list, that created virtual bestseller list with all the data points, the book's title, the average sales rank, estimated royalty, price points, number of reviews, number of good versus bad reviews, what categories does the book rank in. You all have it on here in the report. So have a look for yourself. And what is also extremely useful, what we do put into the report as well, is a list of the book titles and book descriptions. So very quickly you get a feel of what your competitors are doing. If you do this in a fiction genre, you get a very fast overview of what the main plots are of the best-selling books. And for your convenience, in our research projects, if you hear, it's also linked with the Amazon store. So if you click on any of these and switch applications over to the Amazon store, it takes you directly to the book. And here we have one of the top sellers in the market by Sean Sumner from the Self-Publishing School. So I hope you enjoyed this video and that you get a feel of what a tailor-made research project can accomplish. If you like this, come visit us at K-lytics.com, where you find all the information of what we do and what is being offered. Now, you do get access as a premium member, for example, to single genre reports that, look at specific market niches. Here, for example, diets and nutrition, disorders, diseases, health, recovery, various fiction genres. But the very deep keyword-specific research reports, as I just showed you, are seriously tailor-made, and we do them on demand. And if you're interested to get a quote, do send me a mail to support@k-lytics.com. That's support@k-lytics.com. So if you want to have a special research on a very narrowly defined market for which there are no bestseller lists, this is the right product for you. This is Alex Newton from K-lytics, ebook market intelligence for success.